Okay, so last time we have learned about pollution, the main causes of pollution and the types of pollution: air, water, soil pollution. And today we are going to see and to talk about the habitat destruction. So, and like the Steve Irwin said, we discussed about pollution, how soil, how water is polluted, how the air, the greenhouse effect, ozone depletion, how they are caused. But the biggest issue that the whole world is facing today is the habitat destruction. So they are all related with the habitat destruction. Now, what is habitat? The habitat, it is the place where living things live. And the habitat destruction, we can define it as it can be defined as a state in which natural living condition of natural habitat are no longer suitable to support native species. So the condition, if the condition in any environment change, and in this way they cannot support anymore the natural, or let's say living things in that environment, then we call it the habitat destruction. And like you see here, so this is the forest when manual organisms starting from plants till animal live, and this is approaches that it is called deforestation. So by cutting the trees, and there is no living organism, no animal that live. So this is an example of habitat destruction. Now, the main causes of habitat destruction, they can start, we can say, with the human impact in the habitat. And we can list them from agriculture processes till the waste products. So agriculture processes, deforestation, mining, global warming, different kind of pollution, which we can say related with illegal dumping, littering, noise pollution, water, soil pollution, excessive consumption, and waste products. So they are related, all these factors, they are related with pollution. And it is even the natural disaster they can cause, such as tsunami or earthquake, they can cause or floods, they can cause natural disaster. So we are going to watch a video now about the pollution of the environment from plastic.
8 million metric tons of plastic trash enters the sea from land every year. The equivalent of 5 plastic bags filled with trash for every foot of coastline in the world. Across our ocean, plastic trash flows into circulation, dispersed almost everywhere, but concentrating in huge swaths in the midst of global currents, breaking down into smaller and smaller pieces, ingested by species across the marine world, and sinking to the bottom of the sea.
Anyone can make plastic anywhere in the world and sell it anywhere else in the world. There's no design paradigm, there's no barriers. In order to solve the plastic packaging problem, we need to effectively rethink the entire system. One which is linear, i.e. take, make, dispose, to one where it can be recovered and fed back into the body. Valuable plastic material, or one where it is biobenign and it can enter the environment. The ultimate goal of the new plastics economy is to design an economy where plastic packaging never becomes waste. And to do that, we need every single player in the chain to change the way that they do things.
But marine pollution comes in many forms: industrial, agricultural, and urban waste also sweep into the sea, fueling explosions of algae that rob marine ecosystems of the oxygen they need to survive. With sustained pollution, these areas become dead zones, which already exist in more than 400 locations across the globe. But nutrient pollution can be managed through change in major contributing systems like agriculture.
If you eat, you're involved in agriculture, so it's a problem that all of us have to work together to solve. Soil health is critical for water quality. It's the first thing we have to focus on. Here on the farm, organic matter is the key thing that we try to improve. The more organic matter you have in the soil, the better the soil can hold on to nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen, Organic matter keeps it from leaching out of the soil. It grabs onto it, and that's good for the farmer, but it's also good for water quality in the bay. For any farmer to change their system is tricky, and it takes a lot of work. I think all farmers want to. It's learning different processes, practices that allow you to do it effectively that becomes a key.
Okay, so that was a video showing how plastic affects the wetland and how farming can change. So, like we said, the main cause, and you watched from the video, the main cause of habitat destruction, we can start with agriculture processes and deforestation. Now, agriculture, it can be the main cause for habitat destruction because in order to plant large amount of crops, large
Yeah, they
area
have to
of
destroy
land.
the habitat.
Very good. So large area of lands, they need to be destroyed. So many
Yeah.
farmers, they want to extend their farming. So in this way, the animals, they have to relocate and find new habitat, and this can lead to a decrease in the population of this animal. And the deforestation, it is another reason, significant reason for the destruction of habitat. So this can be seen, let's say, in the Amazon rainforest, for example, when farmers, they intentionally burn the forest around their farm, and in this way, they get more land, but they destroy even more and more environments or habitat for many organisms. Other factors that can cause the habitat destruction are the mining and the global warming. So mining, you can see it from this image. There is no organism, let's say animal, that can live in such condition. It is a main problem for soil. We can say changing the soil habitat or the destruction of the land habitat. Now, but why we can say mining, it is increased. Now, since our technology, let's say computers, smartphones, it advanced, it means that we need more metals. And in order to extract these metals, large area of land are used to mining, and many animals and plants habitat is being destroyed. The global warming, let's say the increase of the greenhouse gases which are emitted into the atmosphere, they are changing the temperature of the earth. The increase of the, we can say, air temperature, it lead to huge lost habitat. And most, let's say, especially in hot and dry climate zone, where if in this environment the temperature increases more, then it will run out, this environment, they are going to run out of water, and animals and plants, they will not have, they will not be able to survive any longer in the extreme, in, we can say, conditions. Main problems which are related with humans are pollutions, which can cause, we can say, the habitat destruction. And we can start it from illegal dumping, let's say littering, waste production. They cause soil, water, and air pollution. Now, the illegal dumping or the dumping of the, let's say, of the waste in the forest, river, lake, or even in the ocean is a serious environmental problem. And we can say it implies significant contamination of the environment, and it destroys the habitat of plants and animals that live there. Now, the soil pollution, like we said, from the, we can say, agriculture processes to the illegal dumping or industrial waste, the soil may be polluted. And the first organisms which are affected by soil pollution are plants, because they are sensitive to changes in their natural living condition. They absorb everything from the soil. So if the soil is polluted, it means they are going to get many pollutants inside there, and in this way plants may die or may not grow up properly. Another we can say effect or cause of habitat destruction, it can be even the overpopulation, and we can say here overpopulation of humans. Our world population, it is increasing at an, let's say, a huge rate, an alarming rate. They say that until the end of the century, it can be more. We are for the moment around 7 billion, but at the end of the century, that they are saying that it can be about 10 billion people populating our planet. So, and what does overpopulation as with habitat destruction or animals?
It's gonna require more people. It's gonna require more food, more food,
more resources.
more resources, and more resources is gonna cause the deforestation.
Yeah.
More deforestation, more areas
Because you're gonna
used.
build habitats where people live. You're gonna also make crops so people can have enough food.
I think people have enough food.
Yeah, very good. So this is, we can say, the overpopulation. It's we can say it is a serious problem which can cause the habitat destruction. And let's say overpopulation, it can be related even with the excessive consumption or the waste production. So if we can say it, our materials goods have to be produced through the use of resources like metals or other let's say element. It means that if we consume more and more, then it will imply, we can say, a high demand for these resources. So more habitat will be destroyed. And if we produce more and more waste and it is not disposed or burned, we can say it is not disposed into proper contaminants, that they are going to create the waste. They can create more and more pollution, starting from the soil till the air. And naturally, the habitat, it can be destroyed by natural disasters such as earthquakes, tsunamis, or different factors. The region, they may be flowed from this one, or even fires like this one. We can say the fire that started in Australia. They destroy the natural habitat, and in this way, animal, plants, they cannot be longer able to survive in such condition. Now, so these are the main causes, starting from the natural to mostly human, or the impact of humans on the environment. It can cause pollution and the habitat destruction. Now, what are the effects if the habitat is destroyed? So what are the effects of destruction of the habitat? What can you say?
It's gonna lose so many organisms, so many lives of animals, and maybe some may even disappear,
Might go extinct.
Yeah.
Very good. Like you said, organisms, so if the habitat is destroyed, the organisms will die, or they are going to move to be relocated in other environments.
Or they might just get an evolution.
Or in, you can say, the better scenario, they will be evolved. But evolution, it requires millions of years. So to be adapted in an environment that it is destroyed immediately, it is a big problem with immediately, because the evolution or the change, the physical appearance, it requires a lot of time. So, like you said, we can start it with the loss of biodiversity, and the extinction. This loss of biodiversity, it is related with the extinction of species. So, the destruction of habitat, it can lead to serious loss of biodiversity. So many animal species, they have to leave if their natural ecosystem is destroyed. So since plants, they cannot relocate like animal, they might be simply die off the destruction of their habitat. And in extreme cases, the destruction of the habitat, it can cause the extinction of species. So the native species, that are found in the habitat, they are going to be dead or relocated. So the ones that are in danger, the species that are in danger, they will be extinct. Now, changes in the, we can say, the organisms that live in the environment, even if they are very small, it can create ecological imbalance. We said when we learned about the food chains that organisms, they are related with each other. And if we can say part of a food chain is missing, then all the organisms that are there, they are going to be impacted. That's why if we say one species became extinct, then all ecosystem may get out of balance. So due to the extinction even only of a few species. And in the worst case, the ecological imbalance may lead, we can say, to a huge decline in the biodiversity. Other effect of destruction of habitat, they can, we can say, they can be flood, drought, or erosion, which are caused from the deforestation or cutting of the trees, reduction of the crop yield, spread of pests or invasive species, they can be there. Global hunger, they can cause health effect for all living organisms and even for humans. And they can they increase the death rate, or they can be higher mortality. And at the end, the destruction of the habitat, it can cause the global warming. So these are some effects of habitat destruction. Now, what about solution? What solution are there to prevent or to reduce the habitat destruction? So like we said, all the factors that affect or that cause habitat destruction, if they are reduced, it means that we are reducing the habitat destruction. And like we saw from the video and from what we discussed here, the main reason for habitat destruction are humans, because they are mining more lands, they are, we can say, increasing the farmers, they are increasing their lands for planting more crops, and they are, we can say, making more waste. So we need to reduce them, starting from reducing the mining practice. So in order, we can say, to reduce the mining practice, it means that the government, they need to introduce stronger and stricter laws in the context of mining. So they need, in this way, they are going to preserve more habitat and ensure proper natural living condition for many living things. The government, they can imply higher fines for illegal dumping. They can make better control mechanism, because we can say higher fines, if they are not controlled, then they cannot work. So in the context of the illegal dumping and the pollution, we can say this control mechanism, they are very necessary. So if there are high fines, let's say, in one country, but the company which make and engage with the illegal dumping, they know that if they know that there are no control, then they are not going to stop, and they will continue to do the illegal dumping in the environment. Now, another solution is reducing the greenhouse gases. We say since this emission of the greenhouse gas contribute to global warming, and the global warming, like we saw, is the key factor for changing the condition of the environment and destroying the habitat on the global scale. We can say it is very important to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. And other solutions is by protecting our oceans. We can say, because in other, we can say, countries all over the world, plenty of waste is still disposed in the ocean, and it is polluting the ocean, starting from plastic that we saw from the video till the oil spill that creates serious problem for the marine and water environment. And Another one is reducing the use of fertilizer and pesticides. So if you remember from the last lesson, we learned about how fertilizer affect the water environment. And by reducing this, it means that we reduce the habitat destruction. And the other one are stopping deforestation, altering for our consumption behaviors. So we reduce our consumption, and in this way we reduce even our control. And we can say important, more, let's say the most important are education and raising awareness that can be, we can say it can save many habitat. So education is crucial in order to solve several sort of problems. So many people, they simply do not know at all how their action impact our environment. So therefore it is crucial to educate them, to educate the general public in the context of the habitat destruction. So another one is raising awareness. So we need to raise the awareness on the topic of habitat destruction. For instance, or for example, if you see people around you who act in an irresponsible ecological way, you can point them how important it is to reduce our pollution level in order to save and preserve the habitat destruction. So at the end, as a conclusion, we can say that habitat destruction is a serious environmental problem, and due to our excessive consumption of material goods, large area of lands, like we said, that are used for mining and other purposes, and they imply a significant destruction of habitat and huge number or a variety of animal and plants, they are being removed or they are being dead due to the habitat destruction. So it is crucial that every one of us make, we can say, our contribution in order to preserve our natural habitat. So that's the lesson for today. On Google Classroom, I will share, we can say, an assignment, and you have, let's say, 5 minutes to complete it. You are going to complete it directly now.